Hi, everybody. It's delightful to see you again today. I do trust that you really enjoyed my little chat yesterday and about the I Ching. Today, I asked of my highest aspect what would be really useful for us all today. And what I got was I Ching number 53. This is the I Ching book, which I now know when I play back the video, it actually is the right way around. This is the I Ching book by Brian Brown Walker. So those of you who wish to look into I Ching more, I'd recommend this highly. It's very, very beautiful. It's very, very easy to understand and beautifully written, and a great translation of the original Mandarin. So what do we get today? We got wind over mountain. So just reminding you that I Ching is a combination of two sets of trigrams. So that's 3 lines and another 3 lines. So this one today, you can see that, yeah? So the wind is on the top, which is 2 yang lines, which are these solid lines, and then you have a broken line. And then you actually have mountain, which is 1 yang solid line and followed underneath by 2 broken lines. Now they're in order from the bottom. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how it actually goes. I've mentioned yesterday that you can also have changing energy. I don't feel again we have changing energy today. It's just literally, this is the message. What I also did, I thought that maybe there was actually an oracle card that would be really useful. And I actually had some on the radiator there behind me. I also had my runes, and I went to go and move my runes bag, and out of it fell 2 runes. So I looked those runes up, and they're absolutely spot on, and go also with this message of where we are. And remember, no matter what's going on the outside, it's our inner work, and as I mentioned yesterday, being in with our inner power and visualizing the world that we wish to have. And I'm absolutely sure that everybody on this planet right now wants rid of this surreal reality that we're in, with all this structured control and structured fear. So we wish to go get rid of that and move into a place of power. So how do we do that? Well, this is the message of the I Ching today. It's one of my favorite I Chings. It's number 53, which is Ching, development, in brackets, gradual progress. It was a wonderful, wonderful message. Let me share it. Those who persevere make continuous progress. The image of this hexagram is that of a tree growing high on a mountaintop. If this tree grows too fast without first properly rooting itself, it becomes susceptible, I can't pronounce the word, susceptible to being torn up and destroyed by the winds. If, however, it establishes a proper foundation and is content to grow gradually, it will enjoy a long life and a lofty view. Human beings are no different. Whilst we often desire rapid progress, we want to change someone's mind today, obtain an apology now, achieve all of our goals immediately. Sooner or later, we must come to understand that the only lasting progress is gradual progress. Ching comes to urge you to accept this fact and base your thoughts and attitudes as well as actions upon it. When we have allowed ourselves to be pulled off balance by another or by some event, the ego, which is our lower self, it just means the part which is just all angry, it is our human aspect, our human self, tempts us to believe that we can influence the situation through forceful behavior. This is incorrect. The actions of the ego inevitably complicate our difficulties. The greatest influence possible always comes through the patient and steady refinement of one's inner self. If you will devote yourself now to the path of the sage or the higher power, God, source, whatever you wish to call it, with every step along that path, you'll be strengthened and progress will come automatically. It will be gradual, but it will last. Be patient, modest, and accepting now. Life often demands that we wait longer than we might like for some change, and the only true comfort during these times is the knowledge that we are steadfast in developing ourselves into superior people. In time, every honor comes to those who are persevering and correct. So this, for me, I got this the other day for myself, funnily enough, in respect of a personal situation. And it made me stop and think and go, okay, what's my part in this? What do I need to change within me? Because we create our own reality. So collectively, we've all created this situation that we find ourselves in. We've allowed this to happen. We've allowed our own personal power to be taken from us. So gradual progress, gradually refining ourselves through meditation, through listening to our intuition, through enabling others to waken up and to come into their own power. That is a way that we can refine ourselves and make gradual progress. That's what it's about, refining ourselves and making gradual progress, accepting what is. Being acceptance, okay, this is where we find ourselves. And are we on a path towards complete control, everybody being vaccinated, potential destruction of the human being as we know it, if there are some of these items which are in these injections that they're wishing to impose on all of us that could genetically modify our genome, the essence of who a human being is. That is one path. There is another path though, and that is the path of beauty and love and light, and it is known in some circles as ascension. What is ascension? Is it that we're all going to ascend to heaven? No, I feel that it's actually we are becoming more from a place of love, more from a place of spirituality, more from a place of being in, working from our hearts and working with others and taking away their fear, because fear can be so destructive and fear can be a real killer if we are in fear. Just getting away from fear, visualize what you want. What is the path you want? We can be on that path. There are multiple, if in the quantum field, there are multiple, many paths that are possible. Let's collectively go and work towards the path that we want, rather than one where perhaps very few people in the world are doing their best to go and move us towards. Let's collectively wake up and move towards the goal and the future that we wish for. Now, what jumped out? So, we have the first one. Oops, there. This is number 16 in the runes, and it's called Bakana. And this is growth, rebirth, and birch tree. For those of you who don't know about the runes, I was really lucky and blessed 7 years ago to be given this set of runes by a very dear person who is now in spirit. She sadly died 2 years later. Myself and my friend Petra had gone down to surprise her in Spain, where she was living at the time. And I, as usual, had made cake. I'm renowned for my cakes. For those of you who know me well, has to be cake. And I guess that's why my first recipe book, The Alchemist Cookbook, Volume 1, is actually all about cakes. Cakes, cordials, conserves and preserves, but they're healthy cakes as well. You can have yummy and healthy cakes. Anyway, that aside, we were going down and I was creating this special cake with lots of chocolate covered fruits and everything, and we had a wonderful surprise birthday party for this beautiful Gigi. And at the end of my stay, Gigi gave me two things, and one was this beautiful set of runes, and the other was Osho Zen tarot cards, which I didn't know anything about either, and they're very powerful too. And I've shared a few of those on my Facebook page at different times. So this is one of the runes which came up. And why do I feel it actually goes so well? Well, we've got gradual progress, and now we've got growth, which is rebirth, and birch tree. And the second one, which I will read in a moment, is this one, which is harvest. So you can see how well they fit in a moment. So another of the cycle runes, Bakana, represents a form of fertility that fosters growth both symbolically and actually. The growth may occur in affairs of the world, in family matters, in the relationship of the little self to the big self, or to the divine. So when I say the little self to the little self is our ego. The big self is something called the higher self. And there's Tinkerbell. She jumped all the way from the, go and sit down. Go sit down. She has to be in on the whole thing. Settle down now, sweetie. Let's go and steal the show, huh? So, she jumped all the way from the, it's quite a way actually, from my sofa to my chair. Anyway, settle please. Yes, yes, yes. So, the little self to the big self. The big self is actually part of the divine, because it's the part of us that knows everything. It's the part of us that is our intuition is attached to, yeah? So it's the all-knowing part of us. So I'll read that bit again. The growth may occur in affairs of the world, in family matters, in the relationship of the self to the big self, or to the divine. A rune that leads to blossoming and ripening, Bakana is concerned with the flow of beings into their new forms. Its action is gentle, penetrating, and pervasive. What is called for here is to consider your issue with care and awareness. First, disperse any resistance, then accomplish the work. For this to happen, your will must be clear and controlled, your motives correct. Any dark corners should be cleansed. This must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. Modesty, patience, fairness, and generosity are called for here. Once resistance is dispersed and rectification carried out and seen to hold firm, then through steadfastness and right attitude, the blossoming can start to occur. So that's really wonderful, because it's going together so brilliantly with the gradual progress. So as we actually refine ourselves, and we think of it like dusting, like a spring cleaning, dusting out all those little dark corners. Where are they hidden inside of us? Taking out the cobwebs, and we refine ourselves, and we take ourselves out of fear and into trust and into light, and visualizing what growth we want to see in the world around everyone. How do we wish our world to be? How is that you wish your world to be? Our world. How do you see it? Yeah, I see a beautiful world. I kind of always joke that Emily's world is always nice and fluffy and everyone's kind, and then I get a bit disappointed, because that isn't what's happening really always in this third dimensional reality that we're in. So this is absolutely perfect. Rebirth. Wow. And look what's happened in this lockdown period. We've had a rebirth of much of the world, as it's been allowed, because of the lack of pollution. It's been allowed to actually regenerate itself. And we really need this rebirth on all levels, and reclaiming our power collectively, and allowing things to happen in the way that we wish them to, and visualizing that. Because as long as we keep visualizing a place of which we don't want, then we attract more of the same. So it's the law of attraction, yeah? So like Abraham Hicks, if those of you know about Abraham Hicks, it's what do we wish to attract? What do we wish to be there in the world? So the other one I mentioned is number 13, which is harvest. Fertile season and 1 year. So again, this is so perfect. A stone of beneficial outcomes. It's called Jera. Jera applies to any activity or endeavour to which you are committed. Be aware, however, that no quick results can be expected. A span of time is usually involved, hence the keywords 1 year, symbolising a full cycle before the reaping of the harvest or deliverance. You have prepared the ground and planted the seed. Now you must cultivate with care. To those whose labour has a long season, a long coming to term, Jera offers encouragement of success. Know that the outcome is in keeping of providence and continue to persevere. Remember the old story about the farmer excuse me, who was so eager to assist his crops that he went out at night and tugged on the new shoots. There is no way to push the river. There's no way to push the river. You can't push upstream. You have to go downstream, go with the flow. Equally, you cannot hasten the harvest. Be mindful that patience is essential for the recognition of your own process, which in its season leads to the harvest of the little self. So we're back to the little self. What is the harvest of the little self? It's actually our ego self becoming and merging with our higher self, our highest aspect, the part of us that wishes everything to be in beautiful, beautiful harmony. So that's what we can achieve, and it's a process. It's not going to just be like that. We found ourselves into this situation. Sometimes we have to get to rock bottom before we can rise up. I feel collectively as a world, that's what's happened. We've come to rock bottom. We've had to come to a standstill. And it's allowed many, many people, including myself, to actually sit back and assess and go, oh, what path was I on? Did I like that path? What path would I prefer to be on? As more and more of us waken up to the path that we truly want to be on, and have trust in ourselves, have trust in our own body's ability to heal itself and to remain strong and firm by proper food, really great nutrition, then we can progress. And then there can be no need for anything artificial to be put into our bodies, can there? So that's my message today, that gradual progress, we are growing. It is an opportunity for us to grow more and to align more with our highest aspect, our part which wants only the best for us, rather than staying or reverting back to the ego. The ego is all about fear, it's all about control, it's all about anger, blame, judgment, all those negative aspects of the human psyche. Just sweeping them away and coming more into modesty, into love, into patience, into acceptance, into humility. Those are some of the aspects of the highest part of us. So I wish you well for the rest of your day. My Tinkerbell is delighted, of course, to be on camera. She loves being on camera, don't you, my Tinkerbell? Yeah. And so we wish you well for the rest of your day, and thank you indeed for listening to a young lady in the chair, perpetually young, moi. Take care. Emily Jane here. Bye.